love it. I'm going to do a quick video drop about the divine feminine awakenings that are happening in 2024. This is channeled, this is researched through the Akashic Record Library and through my life. I'm seeing a lot of you going through this. It's an intense but beautiful time. So 2023 was kind of a death and not quite the rebirth yet year. There was a lot of death. Some of you lost loved ones. Some of you finally had time to grieve, either lost loved ones or lost things. A lot of us were actually grieving the traumas that were brought out, I will say brought out from the pandemic. So even though the pandemic wasn't the original source of a lot of our traumas, it was a gateway that opened up these really ancient floodgates to some deep trauma, some deep wounding, some deep fear and pain. Last year was kind of like a thaw of being in a freeze state. In polyvagal theory, it's called the dorsal vagal, and that's where people feel foggy, they feel tired, they feel depression, they feel shut down, they feel kind of dead. And so last year, a lot of us were going through this nice awakening from death to kind of at the end of the year, it was like, okay, we're starting to come back online. So continue doing the things that helped you to make it through 2023 and to keep you feeling alive, maybe even moments of feeling radiant. Do your self-care practices, your yoga. Even if you didn't have a great night of sleep, do 5 minutes. Go call a friend, journal, do whatever it takes, because the thing is, the energies have become and will continue to be more polarized. So the density will come with more intensity and the pain will come with more pressure unless we relieve it with pleasure and we keep our thoughts, our energy, our mood high. So those of the people who have been putting it all, masking their problems with a veneer. They've been focusing on, instead of, how to heal themselves and how to feel and heal and be in what's going on, and instead they're focusing on their marble countertops and how to, not that there's anything wrong with that. We all want to have beautiful lives, but if we're perfecting the kitchen instead of being in the mess of what's going on, and we're instead of feeling into what's happening on the planet, how can we heal the war within ourselves, and we're just trying to control and avoid, dissociate, then those people are going to be feeling more pain. So they'll probably be wanting more antidepressants, higher dosages of these kinds of things. And there's nothing wrong if we do need support, if we need professional support. Sometimes people do need medication. I have friends and family members that have found it helpful from time to time. But what my point is the divine feminine awakening is creating this unstoppable emotionality of, we're going to keep feeling it. We're going to be aware of what has been veiled from us for thousands of years. We are going to have a disclosure of things that have been going on underneath the scenes of the earth for thousands, tens of thousands, millennia. So what we need to really do here is take into account our emotions and have ways to continue processing emotions. And you have gotten so much better at this. I have gotten so much better at this. I don't know if you remember in your 20s, or if you're in your 20s and when you're younger, how things would set you off, and you're doing so much better now. That said, you might be in a rough patch, and that's okay too. So finding the people, the resources, the plants that make you happy. If you can, come look out the window here. We have the beautiful rice field. My daughter just came back with all these flowers. We just got back here in Bali, and life is so beautiful. But things can be heavy. And so if we have a way to alchemize this on a daily level, regularly, not even daily, but minutely, because things are getting intense. So we have to watch our thoughts. The Divine Feminine 2024 is all about editing the old brain patterns that have been giving us the illusion of freedom, when it's really putting us into scarcity, slavery, burnout, working harder to make less money, because that's where a lot of people are on this planet. So if you can find the ways that nourish yourself, that feed your excitement, and get creative. some people I've been working with, I'm having them come to countries that cost less to be in so that they don't have to spend their lives just paying off a mortgage and working at jobs that they don't love. You can be creative by downsizing. You can be a minimalist instead of having all this stuff. You know, we spent holidays at Christmas and it's like, do we really need to buy our kids for the same kind of toy in different colors? That is just going to go in the ocean. So we want to really ask ourselves the questions like, what is important in the beginning of this year? Spend this month, take a little extra time, chill out, really meditate, contemplate. It's not like the New Year's resolutions need to be set on the 1st of January. This is a whole month that you can take. And if you're listening to this, watching this a little bit later in the year, you can still check in with what are your goals, not just your like health, fitness, wealth, but who is the person you want to be and how do you want to be in it? So the divine feminine in 2024 is much more about inward appearances versus outward appearances. And what I mean by appearance is actually to appear within yourself, to peer inward, and to feel, to reflect and be. And a lot of people are appearing, having these personas and these performances, and they're struggling. And I know I've done it myself. I have been on the fence of giving up many times in the last year after, I don't know if there was an attack on my channel or if things just got crazy with the algorithm or if the twin flame Netflix thing kind of ruined our channel. But I've been going through this whole process of like ego death. Like, what do we do now? Should I even keep going? Is anybody going to be inspired if I keep these videos going? And what I've come to the agreement is I don't have to do them anymore. I can do them when I want to. And that's kind of the ninja way of the divine feminine path, is feeling it, flowing with it, being called. And if the call isn't there, you don't have to keep going. And that's really uncomfortable for the divine masculine, for the ego masculine to swallow. All last year, I hustled. I hustled to do what I used to do in my past, which would have worked, which is to work hard, drive hard, push hard, go hard, and you'll make the elite team. But my heart broke last year. No matter how hard I worked, the results got worse and worse. And I know this isn't just me. I'm hearing this from not just people with social media channels. Some people are kicking ass, and congratulations if you're doing really well. But to a lot of people, even with their health, you know, they're doing all these things to upgrade their health and they're still struggling, or they are working on their relationship and they end up getting a divorce. So sometimes we keep on going as divine feminines by failing and keep on going and not seeing it as a failure, seeing it as a sacred act of self-love, to be willing to go down into the dark trenches, to not be hot and fabulous all the time, but to love ourselves in those zones. So I feel like collectively there are a lot of people that are getting their SHIT stirred right now. It's going to be uncomfortable. People are going to keep trying to cover it up with more potpourri, and life is fabulous. But I think deep down there's going to be a great massive reset, and people know it's coming, and ego does not work. So it's time to develop these tools to love one another, love ourselves, live in community. It doesn't mean we have to live in the same house, but really establishing the level of connection that we grew up with in our families. My heart goes out to you if you didn't have a good family growing up. I was very blessed to have a loving family. Just spent the last 2 months with them in California with Jack and Elisa and I. It's so important to find these bonds and to start cultivating them with our fellow human beings. That's really what I'm getting, is create family this year, because if the economy fails, if your health fails, who are you going to rely on? You're not going to be able to rely on your good looks anymore. It's about soul connection, community, and one of the biggest things you can gift another human being is your love, your care, your attention. That is like the most powerful wealth, especially according to the divine feminine aspect. So I bless you with a very prosperous year. It doesn't have to be financial. It may be, and that's wonderful. And I bless you with more love and self-discovery than you've ever known, more time to explore your body, your self-care path, your spirituality. And thank you for being here. So much love, many blessings, and love and light from Bali. Bye for now.